Perfect, 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 perfect.
Greetings, everybody. Heath and Ken with Hack Lab. And as you just saw in the little B-roll there, we're bringing the Audi girl out, all right? So this here is my 2000 Audi S4. Let's see, had it since, well, let's give you the full background and the entire story. So back in 2009, I want to say, not 2009 or 2010, this guy found this car in New Jersey. Okay, now those of you in the Audi B5 community, you know that these things in New Jersey were hot for the thieves back in those days. So we had this wild idea that we were going to take a platform that we've never worked on before. At that time, your sister had the B5 Passat, right?
Yeah.
So that was our only experience with B5 Volkswagen. So we thought we were going to take something like this, you know, find out whatever was wrong with it, and then we were going to flip it and sell it for good money because they were selling nice back then. So should we go into the trailer story? Well, you guys will see the trailer in the moment. But we bought a trailer, fixed up this trailer, and then we drove to Parsippany, New Jersey to pick this up. Okay, so the thieves who stole this car in Jersey completely trashed it. Okay, bottom end was knocking, but the rest of the car, and we'll show you some of the other damage that occurred because of these animals. We'll show you that in a moment, that I never fixed over 10 years, but neither here nor there. So we'll show you that damage. But so we picked this car up, and at first we tried to bullshit it. We put it on some jack stands, took the oil pan off, then tried to take the second oil pan off, or the upper oil pan off, to try to drop the crank and replace the bearing, because, you know, we're just trying to flip it quick, right? Eventually we were like, all right, this is stupid, let's just pull the entire engine, right? So we end up pulling the entire engine. We had to buy a brand new crank, so bought a brand new crank for it.
Not a brand new crank.
Or, whoa, yeah.
A used crank from New Jersey also.
Yeah, we went back to Jersey, bought another crank from some other guy. Then we put fresh bearings in it, resealed the bottom end in terms of oil pan gaskets. I'm thinking off the top of my head here. Never took the heads off or anything. So really just sealed up the bottom end. So around, let's say we were 6 or 7 months into this project here. At the time I was driving an Integra, Acura Integra. So some animals stole that from me.
94 Integra.
94 Integra. So stole that, so then I had no car. So Ken and I were going half on this, trying to fix it and flip it. So Ken had the idea of, all right, look, how about you keep the car? Because at that point we were both falling in love with the car, right? So it was, all right, buy me out, you keep it, we'll fix it, we'll get it done. So that's pretty much what we did. Bought them out, we finished the car, and got the car running in 2011. Meaning tip-top running in 2011, and drove this until 2019. And once we get it over to the lab, get it on the lift, I'll explain to you everything that's happened. But this car. Let's take you for a walk around it. All right. So when we were first buying the Carfax said that it had it'd been in some kind of rear end accident, and we could see it here, right? The trunk isn't necessarily straight. Now, when we first bought it, the trunk had paint on it, but crappy paint job, it just faded over the years. So that's where we're at here. It had this damage in the fiberglass here. When I first got it, it was all red. Like there was some paint transfer, red here. But I took it to a detail shop and the guy was able to heat it up and buff the red out. So now we were just left with this damage in the fiberglass here. Paint peeling over here on the C-pillar, up to the C-pillar here. And as you can see, this is where the animals gained access. All right. Now also when we bought this, the animals also stole the headlights. And for whatever reason, they felt they had to pry the fender in order to get the headlights out. On this side, but not this side.
It is a tight squeeze.
Yeah, and they physically broke the tabs getting the headlights out.
So those were useful headlights.
So literally, we just had like these torques in here with just the broken tabs in here. But obviously, the engine's apart right now. I showed you guys all of the plastic coverings on the ground over there. But this is the completely stock, as you see. No chip tune, no APR GAC tune or anything, no cone filter. This is 100% stock. This was my daily for almost 10 years. So it was, you know, point A to point B, fast, stylish, and reliable. And that's what it was for me. Let's see, stock wheels. The only thing aftermarket on this car is what are they? KWs. Yeah, KW coilovers. And that's where you see the height right now. The driveway's on a little bit of a decline, so it's gonna look crazy. But that's it with this car. That is it. I think in the intro video we gave you a little shot of the inside, but could take you around it again.
Oh, it is locked.
Yep. So, cleanest portion of the car, with the exception of this guy here. This guy here. Aside from that, interior is, aside from being a little dirty, pretty minty.
Oh, you even got the cup holder.
Oh, yeah. Nice. It actually works, but we actually did a little trick too. Oh, actually, you could probably see it in here. So what we did, you guys see that JB weld in there? All you B5 guys know that this is where it likes to break. So bought a used one that was still good. JB welded on the weak points of the cup holder, and that's what's gonna keep it strong. All right, so what's wrong with it? Why is it not running? Why is it parked? And why is it looking painful condition? Okay, so well, right now the engine works, everything's fine with the engine, but the starter is kaput. All right, so we gotta replace the starter so that we can at least hear this thing run. It can't drive because, as you guys know, the cup that goes into the transmission for the CV axle, that completely exploded, shattered itself. So what we need to do is we need to take this, get it on the lift. I have a spare transmission, spare cup in there. We're gonna try and switch it, see if the wheels will turn. Okay. I have a couple theories on that, but we'll see how that goes. And if that doesn't work, then we have another transmission. Then it'll probably be a little bit more involved of a project than we want it to be. But that's the project. So we'll cut over and get this thing on the trailer. here's what has the B5 S4 pretty much down right now. It is, as you can see, the CV is not where it's supposed to be. Now, try and get you this angle, but sorry. Alright, so this is the cup right here that the CV shaft bolts into, and it completely snapped at the back, and the rest of the cone is actually in the diff right now. So what we're gonna try to do, what we're gonna try to do here is we want to swap out the cup that the CV shaft sits in, and let's see what kind of damage the transmission has. So just looking at it from under here, finally, the CV shaft's probably gonna have to come out. You think so too, right? Yeah. So CV shaft's gonna have to come out, and then we're gonna have to just go from there. So if you guys want to tour the rest of the underbody, obviously the splash shield's off, but all that corrosion on the aluminum got there from sitting in my driveway with no cover under it.
And the coilovers though.
Yeah, KWs. But the rest of this car, the rest of the chassis, stock exhaust all the way back. The only thing not stock is when the clamps rotted on this. I was at the tail end of the semester in undergrad. I just needed to get the shit fixed. I didn't have time to crawl under, and then with the last few weeks and then finals coming up, so now they just put this shit in here, and now when we actually want to swap the exhaust, we'll fight with that. But aside from that, pretty, I think I want this clean. No rust. I did my best to always wash this after snowstorms. All of this is surface level ugliness. All of it, all of it. Well, got some surface rust under the subframe. Gotta change this guy right here. Visually doesn't look clean. Alright, we're gonna get started on the CV shaft.